What's up and welcome back. I'm John Stark from MacTheMovieGuy.com, your favorite blind film critic. And today, I'm taking a look at Secrets We Keep. It's a Netflix limited series, it's an international series, and I'm doing a review of it. I watched all 6 episodes, and they have audio description, so click like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, join me and my cult following here on YouTube. We are looking for some Kool-Aid. Let me know what your favorite flavor is. That's a terrible reference. I'm so sorry. Uh, other critics say they go into things blind. I literally go into things blind all the time. That would be the reason maybe to subscribe to me, is to find out what that experience is like. So this is a Spanish series. Question. I think it's Spanish. Um, I Nor do I care. I really don't, because I get the dub cast anyway through the way that Netflix does audio description for its international content. So, just to explain things, hi sighted people, hello, welcome. So I get a thing called audio description because I'm blind, and basically what it does is it gives me like visual reference to the things that are on screen. So a lot of times what normally happens for things like, I don't know, A24's Zone of Interest, is that A24 will hire a company to come in and do audio description for the Zone of Interest, and it's done by the audio description company. So what ends up happening is you can still hear the original actors underneath. It's not a full dub. It's just like somebody reading what the subtitles would be. And if you're really fancy, what you do is you make sure you pay for multiple voices, so it doesn't sound like one person talking to themselves the whole time, especially one person doing like sort of the audio description part of it with the visuals, and then also trying to talk for all of the characters throughout the film. Believe it or not, that happens. It's maddening. At least get 2 voices, but it's better if you can get like more than 2, so that way you can have people who don't sound like they're talking to themselves, more like a dub cast. So for like Zone of Interest, they had like 5 or 6 different people doing the voices, and it worked out really nicely. So it was a great track. So this is dubbing mixed with audio description, meaning Netflix dubbed the series, so you can watch just an English dub of this if you want, which is unnecessary. But because if you are at a point where your vision is so poor where you can't read the subtitles anyway, you would probably benefit from audio description anyway. So I understand the whole thing about why directors don't like dubs. And I kind of think dubs they come along better with audio description. They make more sense if you run them in with audio description. And then that way, because I know voice actors are like, whoa, that's my bread and butter. You'd still get bread and butter, you'd just be working for the audio description company, and we'd still hear the original voice underneath it. Um, and Netflix wouldn't feel so empowered to only make a dub without audio description. If they made the audio description first all the time instead of making a dub without audio description, there would be way more access, and not just Netflix, but on every show. Back to this show. So Secrets We Keep has audio description from International Visual Center, which sadly is also having to use the cheapest way to get from point A to point B, because Netflix, with their international series, they don't want to pay a whole lot of money to get the audio description on these shows because they feel like the audience isn't really there. And they're just like, well, cool, but if you're going to do this, then do it on all the series, because they keep dropping international content, but it's not audio described. So they're kind of like picking and choosing. So they're still sort of parsing through the kind of content that we as blind people get. I'm hopeful that it will just lead to more content, because that's why I'm putting up with TTS, text to speech audio description, on series like Secrets We Keep. But this is text to speech. It's not an actual narrator. You can hear heavy audio ducking, even from International Visual Center, which is, I don't know, I would say top 4 audio description companies for me in terms of the kind of quality that they make and the consistency in which they make it. So this is a best case scenario for what text-to-speech would sound like. And even the voice that they used for this is one of my favorite text-to-speech voices I've ever heard. I know that seems kind of, oh, don't say that. There could be. Honestly, I'm also a sort of like hashtag describe everything person, where I believe that as a blind person, we also need to figure out a way how to get to 100%. And we're never going to get there with human narrators. So it's about figuring out where to use text to speech. Also, if you want things on like YouTube and TikTok to have audio description, it's highly unrealistic that you're ever going to get human narrators on all that shit. So text to speech is a reality, but we just have to figure out where is it a reality. And I guess it's a reality for international content. It's the best way to get a whole bunch of the stuff coming in from other countries, at least accessible to us. So fuck it. Um, so secrets we keep, yes, it's text to speech, but at least you get the content and the worldview of other countries. So that's something that I've been advocating for, especially in terms of film, because there's so many international cinema releases every single year that don't have audio description. Although Netflix tried to originally release Emilia Perez without audio description, and they continue to release films like Roma and El Conde and Bardot, which all have no audio description tracks. I digress. Secrets We Keep is a limited series that's about the death of an au pair, or a nanny, whatever you want to say, however you want to put that. So I guess in this country, these wealthy people sort of import their nannies so they get a temporary work permit and they come and they take care of the kids, and it leads to them getting money and other things. And we sort of explore the idea of how this benefits the nannies and the countries that they're coming from and the money that they're making, and they're able to help their families. One particular angel, there are two families here. So I'm going to say the good and the bad family for right now. So the good family, there's this angel is their nanny, and it does reference the fact that she has like a son back home. So she's actually giving up time. She's not even like close to her. She can even visit her son like on the regular. So because she has to look after somebody else's kid. It's also an idea that is sort of really explored. One of the few things that we talk about in The Help, which is explored really well, is the fact that these people were being hired to take care of kids, but often they had kids themselves, and then they didn't have time to really take care of their own kids, or it just was more exhausting for them to try to balance both. So this touches on that a little bit. It could have used that a little bit stronger, but that's not the main plot point. The bad family, they're not all bad, but the bad family, their nanny goes missing, and they're wondering what happened, and it's sort of this mystery. Is she missing? Is she dead? Who did it? Who's the bad guy? Who's responsible? The cops get involved, and there becomes sort of this twisty story that I actually liked. I actually liked which is why I'm bothering to review the series at all, is so that hopefully you'll watch Secrets We Keep, because I actually think it's one of the stronger international shows. There was another show that I should have reviewed a while back, and I didn't. Now I forgot too many of the specifics to be able to really talk about it. But Last Nights on Traymore Beach was also really good. So yeah, this stood up. I sat through the whole thing with text-to-speech audio description because I was engaged enough in every single episode, and I wanted to know. And with a series like this, it's about how it ends. Is the ending interesting enough? Because you can put up with a lot. I'm watching some other shows that are sort of like this. There's sort of this mystery, right? And as you kind of stumble through things along the way, it is sort of about the ending. It's like, is the ending going to surprise me? Is it going to make sense? I kind of was surprised at the end of, let's say, like Jake Gyllenhaal's Presumed Innocent. Honestly, did throw me a curveball for an ending I didn't guess. I did not see that coming. I think I mentioned at the time that if you had asked me to pick 10 people that I thought could have been the killer, I still wouldn't have picked that person. So I thought that was a pretty solid misdirect. I'm currently watching The Better Sister, which is front-loading itself with a lot of really obvious clues. I'm really hoping changes up by the end, because if not, that's the most boring show I've ever seen in my life. But I'm hoping that there's like a twist at the end of that saves that show. This is sort of like, it starts out fine and there's a mystery and it builds and it seems to point towards certain characters, and then towards the end there's a reveal that makes it look like, aha, we know everything. And then right at the end of it, as the series is closing, this is one of those shows that like has that sort of like wink and a nudge thing, like right at the end where it's like, nah, you didn't get all of it. And then it just kind of like mic drops and walks away. And I kind of love that about the series too. I was like, oh damn. Oh damn. Okay. So watch the series. It's got a great kind of finish to it. And it's one that you won't see coming, I think. I think it's yeah. I was definitely surprised because it it kind of weaves its way around a little bit enough that when you get to a certain reveal, you're like, oh, this is it. That makes sense because it already feels like it's a big enough twist. Like there's a pretty big twist in it where you're like, oh, okay, done. We figured it out. And then so within the like last, literally like last, I want to say 10, maybe 5 minutes of the final episode is when they're like, by the way, mic drop. I was like, oh shit, I'm reviewing this show now. So Secrets We Keep. And it's not a bonkers ending either. It's not like the clown did it. Oh, there was a clown in that? I didn't know there was a clown in the series. Or like um what is it, Saint Elsewhere, where like nothing is real and they all live inside the the snow globe. Yeah, it's not like that. So it's just a really nice sort of flip at the end. So yeah, I can't comment on the original actors because I got dub cast. So if you're wondering, I thought the dubs were pretty solid for what I mean, I've heard some dub casts where I'm like, sometimes it's hard because it's really hard with comedy. Comedy does not translate well. Um, and then you're having to get sort of American voices, English voices, whatever, to do these dubs for jokes that don't really make sense to us and for setups and punchlines that just don't quite work. So comedy is sometimes really hard to sell. I've seen some of my least favorite things were there's some action films also that are kind of shitty that are on Netflix. But yeah, these actors did a really nice job with this series and actually kind of felt like they were acting. I love when dub casts feel like they're actually trying to offer something to give us, because it's like that's what I'm stuck with. You know, as a blind person, I want somebody to interpret the story as best as possible. I know that it means that they're not getting it through the original director, but if you're going to give me a dub cast, then give me a dub cast that's trying. Give me a dub cast that feels like that they're invested in the story and they understand what it is that they're dubbing. Some dub casts seem like they're so disconnected from each other that they've never heard the other people speaking, that they're all reading their lines just like off of a script, trying to figure, like nobody's giving them any sort of direction. They have no idea what it is they're reading and everything. All of the line readings are just so bizarre. This one kind of feels like it was put together. Like there was a little bit of tender love and care that was actually put together in this thing and actually ended up kind of working. So this is sort of a best case scenario dub. It's a best case scenario text to speech. So if anything, this is sort of like one of the few things where I would say that if we're going to try to send this out into the world of, well, if you're going to try to promote mediocrity, can we at least give it to this level of quality? I've heard worse human audio description than this. There have been worse tracks that are worse written than this. International Digital Center still put the same kind of love and care into making sure that the text was still good, that the written part of it that the robot was reading was really good. So there's still the problem, and we're not there yet, with ducking, which is why please don't use it. It would be terrible for you to use it on anything you care about. Loaded question, I know. Anything you care about. So any of your major franchises, no. This doesn't mean that you can cost cut and be like, you mean we can put this on Star Wars? No. Oh my God. It would be awful on Star Wars. So what I mean by that is it's like the sound. So they overlay the audio description on top of the original audio track, but there seems to be some sort of, it seems to be hard to weave it in the same way that we can do with humans. With humans, you can sort of seamlessly, the best people balance this stuff so that that way you can hear the audio description and the film and you're not interrupted. Like everything is balanced perfectly so that the film doesn't suffer, neither does the audio description. And I've heard that perfectly 1,000 times. This, like every single text-to-speech I've ever heard, sacrifices the sound of the original product. Whenever it gets too loud, you can hear sort of the dip every single time when the audio description comes in. So that's really the only downside. Well, other than some, but that's the primary downside. Now that still we have not crossed the great border of that. So, Secrets We Keep. Thought it was a solid limited series. It's 6 episodes. You can watch it if you like things that are twisty, sort of murder mystery type things, missing people mysteries, whatever, all that kind of genre. It'll keep you guessing. It does throw enough curveballs at you where you're like, is it this? Is it this? Is it this? Is it this? It's like, it's again, it's like Presumed Innocent, where like a whole bunch of people could have been guilty. And I like those shows. I like the shows that try to play out multiple people who could have done it. The Better Sister, which I'm also watching right now, is kind of doing the opposite of that, where it's like only one person could have done this. Good luck proving me wrong. So I'm going to see how they're going to work their way out of that one. It's sort of the reverse. Anyway, yeah. So I'm going to give The Secrets We Keep a B+. It's really hard for me to go A- with text-to-speech. So B+. It's all good. It's as good as it's going to get. Anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. And I'll see you guys on the other side.